There was talk about some people being allowed to ad-lib while recording dialogue for this movie. I was wondering if that extended to you as well. How much were you allowed to improvise dialogue, and how much of that made it into the final cut?
Well, I ad-libbed like crazy. I mean, the directors, Jared and Byron, encouraged it. And of course, I took the lead. But, half of it didn't make it. I had a lot of great ad-libs and jokes that I was sorry that didn't make it, but a lot of great stuff did make it to the flick.
That's great. So your character does do a little bit of singing. I was wondering how comfortable you felt doing that. How much time did you have to prepare to sing? Was there any training involved, or did they just kind of throw you right into it?
They threw me right into it, and I was hoping that I could get drunk, like if I was doing karaoke, and just drink a lot and hope that it all goes well, or not care anyway because you're too drunk. But that's not the way Disney operates. So I had to do it sober. And so poor Lin-Manuel had to spend a couple of hours coaching me line by line till I got it into the pocket. But it was worth it because we got it in the pocket.
That's great. Your character Bruno has kind of a unique role in the movie. When kids watch this movie, what are you hoping they take away from his story arc?
Well, I hope the kids, when they see my character Bruno, that they realize sometimes we have a power that people don't appreciate, or an ability or a gift. And it takes a while for people to understand that all of us have a gift that helps out the community or helps out your family. You just have to be patient for that gift to gel and for people to appreciate it.
Absolutely. One of your most popular roles was in voice work as Sid the Sloth in the Ice Age movies.
Yeah. Love Sid.
Yeah, classic. I grew up with it. But I was wondering what working on this film was like compared to doing an animated movie 20 years ago.
Well, obviously the animation has come such a long way. I mean, back then the hair didn't move, it was really looked like concrete. And now, in this movie, the hair all bounces. It looks real. The skin has texture, doesn't look plastic like it did in for early Ice Age. And then the difference here for me was I usually like to do a voice and hide behind a voice. Here, the directors wanted me just to use my own voice. So then we had to work harder because to create this awkward, weird, kind of odd character that's become isolated and talks to himself. So we spent a lot of time trying to create that space where I felt safe to be as weird as possible, but it paid off.
That's great. How much preparation outside of the singing are you able to put into your work on a movie like Encanto? I mean, you did Chef, which I'm sure took a ton of training to learn how to cook and make all the food. This is a little bit different. So is it just as time consuming, or are you able to kind of just go in and do your thing?
No, it's not as time consuming. Obviously for Chef, I had to go to a restaurant and spend a couple months trying to get, some cooking skills. Here, it's more about, because it's about using your imagination, and you're creating something that doesn't exist. So you're giving it the life that it needs. So it's more about hours of recording until you find that perfect place where the voice lands and you believe that it's doing and being what it should be. So it's a matter of trial and error to find that character, find the voice, find the emotional life, find the physical life.
That's great. So shifting to some of your other work really quick, you have a brand new comic book coming out.
Yes.
Which super exciting. I can't wait to read it. I was just wondering, what was it like dipping your toes into the comic book industry, writing, working with Todd McFarlane again? And do you hope to maybe even see that project adapted someday? Maybe you can be a part of that too.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about Phantom X. I mean, I didn't see any Latin superheroes, and I felt like it was, we have them in real life. I mean, half the Mets are Latinx, half the Astros that went to the World Series are Latinx, and the Braves are Latinx. And you have AOC, half the MMA. So we have real life heroes. Why aren't they in comic books? So I wrote this character and I took it to Todd McFarlane, the greatest comic book maker in the world. And he fell in love with my story, and he's going to publish it November 10th on Image Comics. And, I got big hopes. I have hopes that it'll be turned into games, video games, movies, animated, everything. I hope I can across the board, just make it everywhere.
That's great. I'm hoping for the same thing. Speaking of movies you made a long time ago and voice work. There's a new Mario movie coming out.
Yep.
Charlie Day taking over the role of Luigi. Were you ever contacted about that movie at all? Would you be willing to appear in a potential sequel doing voice work for that?
You know, Super Mario Brothers holds a special place in my heart. It's 25 years, I think, since it was made, and now they're remaking it. So I'm glad that the movie was good enough that they want to make a remake. That's just a good sign. I wish they had been more inclusive and more Latinx in it, like as innovative as the first one was. Yeah, you know, I think I know how to fix what didn't work in the original. I think I got all the secret sauce. If they come to me, I'd be willing to help out. That's
great. Yeah, so I know you, it's been talked about, you're a big proponent for, and like you just said, for more movies with representation and just trying to represent as many people as possible. At what stage in this movie being made, ENCANTO, were you brought on? And did you have any say in any of the script aside from the ad-libbing?
You know, I think I came on later in the process. And you know, I had a lot of say in the creation of my character, not so much in the story. The story was pretty solid, and the directors did the right thing. They went to Colombia, they did a lot of research. They went around and saw the whole country and put all that into the movie. So the movie is very authentic, even though it's an animated movie. You know, it's not a doc, but you feel like the food choices, the music, the vallenato, the cumbia that Carlos Vives sings. I had more say was in my character creation. How do we make this guy quirky and funny? How do we bring more humor to it? So that's where my contribution came in.